right, so that actually is the doorbell. There's Jim McKenzie. He owns the Johnny Carson boyhood or childhood home. What do you call it? Do you call it the boyhood home?
Yeah,
probably the same thing,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Here in Norfolk, Nebraska. And so thank you for letting us take a tour.
Absolutely.
Super excited. That was the doorbell. So when people ring the doorbell, you hear a different Johnny Carson clip or a little sound effect from the show or whatever. So we should probably note right up front that you actually gutted the entire house.
We did.
And the reason for that was?
It was just in very, very poor condition. So we started off by lifting up the house to replace the main beam, and that just spilled over into the entire house. It really needed a complete gut job.
And I've actually had the chance to walk through it, and he did a fantastic job. This is the Fireplace. So folks, if you had watched the special, what year did that come out, Jim, where Johnny Carson came back to town?
It came back in 81 in film, and the show came out in 82.
Okay, and he made mention of the Fireplace. This has also been mostly redone, but looks absolutely beautiful. And then this would have been, this area we're pointing to over here would have been the kitchen area, correct?
Yep.
Back in the day. But to tell you how horrible the condition was of the house, there were a lot of termite damage.
A lot of termite damage, yeah.
Yeah.
We had to replace the main beam from the damage and a lot of wood throughout the house.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. So to keep this short and sweet, we should probably go show you where Johnny Carson grew up. Is that all right, Jim?
You betcha.
Okay, so we'll go ahead and go on upstairs. And you'll probably be surprised at how small the bedroom was for not just Johnny, but his brother lived in. So this would have been his room right here on the second floor. And so you had this kind of little common space here. Johnny mentioned that there was a desk in here where he would do homework and things like that. And this is it. So this is the bedroom that Johnny Carson grew up in, along with his brother. Pretty small room, Jim.
It's very small. I can't imagine living there as two grown-up adults.
Yeah. And do you know how long they lived here? How old they were when they moved on?
Johnny graduated from high school here and then went to the Navy right after high school.
Okay, so.
And I believe his family lived here for a couple more years after that.
Yeah. And then so he would have been able, now when he looked out these windows, these are actually new windows, as you can probably tell, but there wasn't much back here back then, right, in the 30s.
That's correct. None of those houses were there. There was houses on the block across, but those houses have been added since Johnny lived here.
That's cool. Well, thank you so much for letting us take a tour, seeing inside where Johnny Carson grew up as a kid. And before I cut you, I know you're a little camera shy, but you were not a super fan of Johnny Carson. You were obviously a fan, probably the same way that I'm a fan. But why did you decide to buy the house?
Well, it was an important historical artifact in Norfolk, and Norfolk was his boyhood home. Johnny loved growing up here. Johnny loved this house, as he said in 81 when he did the Johnny Comes Home video. So I just felt that it was important to restore the house and bring it back to a condition that everybody would be proud of.
That's awesome. You did a fantastic job. And people who want to see the home, they want to come by, don't come by, but you can go and talk to the folks at the local museum.
Right. Talk to the folks at the local museum and
the Elkhorn
Valley
Museum.
Yep. And it's best to call in advance if there's an opportunity for arranging a quick tour. I'm happy to do that almost any time. So.
Yeah, Jim's a great guy. He was very nice to let me come in and check it out. But yeah, make sure you check in with the museum. Don't just come knocking on the door or ringing the doorbell, even though it is kind of fun. Jim, thank you so much. It was great to meet you.
You bet. Thank you.